What is going on, everybody? It is Saturday night, and we've got a fun show for you tonight. A live Zeroed In Discussions. This was actually Lance's idea. I'm going to bring him in just a second. But he wanted to go through a third-party wish list. Now, we all love TFCon. We love all the conventions. BotCon, you have the new BotCon now and HasCon, and there's a lot of exclusives that come around these conventions. Lance had an idea. Hey, let's get together and let's brainstorm what exclusives we'd like to see at TFCon or BotCon. And this is going to be a fun one. We're going to have a good time talking about this tonight. So before we get into it, if you haven't already, smash that like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you can stay in the loop when we do surprise content like this. I'm going to go ahead and bring Lance in. Lance, how you doing, my friend?
Where am I? Who are you? I'm back from TFCon.
Yeah, so you just came back from TFCon LA, and you were there with a bunch of people, including our good friend, Mr. Deluxe Baldwin, who I just had on Tuesday. He talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, you put him on before me. That's the correct thing to do, actually.
That's
correct.
He doesn't think he's famous, and yet he had...
We want to get into this story already.
Well, he told the Frank Todaro story on Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Oh, there's more to it.
Well, no. Frank Todaro, yes. He told me about that. That was cool. But all through the convention, whenever I hung out with him, it was like, man, nobody knows who I am. Nobody here knows who I am. Without fail, like 2 to 3 people would walk up and say, hey, it's Deluxe, and I love your videos. I'm like, uh-huh. Nobody knows who you are. Keep in mind, I hung out with him a lot. And then, of course, he tells me, I watched his update video where he talked about why he had to leave early and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the Frank Todaro thing, I'm like, so nobody knew who you were, except for the voice actor for one of your favorite characters.
Right.
Who's a big fan, and you got to hang out and talk with for, like, a good time. All right, Deluxe. All right, man. Like, that's so cool. I'm so jealous. I won't lie.
I thought that was pretty cool, especially since he's like such a big Starscream fan. The guy that's like the current official voice of Starscream is not only a fan of the franchise, but a fan of his.
Which is funny because I rode up there with my buddy, and he's a huge Starscream fan. He's got a tattoo of Starscream on him. So like, oh my gosh. But yeah, me and Deluxe hung out a bit there. It was fun.
Yeah.
Very humble dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's gotten small, too. Good for him.
Yeah, he has. It was cool seeing him at TFCon Baltimore and just seeing, he and I both really started getting back into losing weight at the same time. And, yeah, he was definitely looking pretty slim. So,
yeah. I got to have dinner with him and his wife and a couple others.
Oh, very cool. You get to meet Lisa.
I got to meet Lisa, yes. Shitty dinner, and I feel bad for bringing them there, which was that shit.
We'll never beat the dinner at Fogo, I don't think.
No. But this was bad. One, the waiter didn't... My buddy asked for a screwdriver. The guy thought he was kidding or didn't know what a screwdriver was. Never got it for him until the very end.
I thought you were going to say you brought him like a physical screwdriver.
No, that's a weapon. Lisa's food apparently wasn't very good, which upset me. My pot pie was fine. A little more soupy than pie filling, which was annoying. But then they couldn't split the check more than 2 ways. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that happens here sometimes too. I think
How does that work? How does that work? That should be a basic thing.
It should be a basic thing. I think all places should just have the little tablet now where you can itemize your stuff and pay for it on your own.
Absolutely.
Especially since, not everybody carries cash anymore and just makes life easier.
But yeah, and then like that was the second bad dinner. The other dinner it was just me and my buddy. We went down on Thursday night when we got there to this Italian place that we saw listed. How do you fuck up a chicken parm? Let me tell
you what's really funny?
What?
I was talking about that we have a family group chat, and they were surprised that I'd never been to Olive Garden. And we have like generic, we always had generic Olive Garden knockoffs, but I've never been to the real deal. And so I mentioned, like, yeah, growing up, all we ever went to was the Olive Tree. And my father-in-law chimed in. It's like, oh, I went to one of those once. It was pretty good. I was like, no, it was the worst chicken parm I've ever had, with the breading like sloughing off. It was like thick breading that's just like.
How about burnt breading, dry chicken, black pasta?
What do they put? Squid ink?
Bland pasta.
Ah.
Look, you put squid ink here, that would have given it at least a little flavor. So that was bad. Other than that, if you ever come out to LA, we're going to Jinyarama Ramen. And 2 words, birria ramen.
Yeah, there's the Mexican place up by me has birria ramen. I've been wondering. I think next time I go, I'm gonna have to get
Put it in your goddamn mouth. It's so good.
Yeah.
Get it with the extra egg though. You gotta get the egg.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the egg in the ramen. Yeah. We got D-Man hanging out with us saying Eeyore behavior. And also, like Eeyore as in, I guess, from Winnie the Pooh, and he's talking about chicken and cheese. And if you are watching this here live, pop on that live chat, because as we're getting into some of these third-party wish list items, I want to know like what you guys want to see. And if you're not watching this live, because it is a Saturday night, if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment.
Zeroed in Discussions is the title you're going with?
That's the title I'm going with. It's on brand.
All right, judging.
You're always judging.
All right, but I have a story for you to follow the segue in that has to do with Make Toy Seekers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember the name of the guy who does usually the third-party panel representations. I met him, talked to him a couple times. And I think I talked to him either it was during the custom class or something. And one of the jokes I made is like, cool, man, what Make Toy Seeker color are we getting this year? And like, he laughed, and yeah, turns out there's 2. So flash forward to the third party panel. I'm up front, Deluxe and stuff. If you watch the video, I think Deluxe's video doesn't have me screaming. But the dude, when he starts filming, he goes, first up, and he points right at me. Make Toys. An entry from Make Toys. I'm like, no! Seekers. So if you hear that in one of the live stream videos, that was me. And he pointed at me and he laughed at me. He's like, haha, Make Toy Seekers. Like, God damn it. They're going to milk the shit out of that mold, man. I don't know how many colors they can do.
I will say, if they ever do it in brown and they call it Shitstorm, I will bite.
I don't believe you for a goddamn minute. But if they do it in the orange and pink RC Wheelie's mom's colors, and that be Wheelie's dad, maybe. Look, man,
what's going on, Mega T-Rex? Well, good to see you in here.
They got to be running out of colors at this point. This year was 2 blue ones. 2 blue. They were both blue. Dark blue and Thundercracker blue.
Yeah, one was like the toy masterpiece Thundercracker, and the other one was just the Toon one. It was just like,
we're stretching, Boo.
Yeah. What is the point?
They're stretching that like a rubber band. Like, apparently, rumor is that, like, what is it? Who owns that mold? It's basic. There's a bunch of legal stuff around a lot of the molds from Make Toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, one of the ones, I think it's what? Who was it that owns that mold? It's that company that always does the Make Toys. It's
TF Source. Yeah.
Like, apparently they own that, so they're going to milk the shit out of that.
I think it's foolish, and you know, I guess one of the things we can get right
sells out every time.
Well, because it's also the quantities when they're doing like such small runs where they're doing like 200. Yeah, they're not. I don't really think that they're doing too well. I'd be curious to know who owns
every time
these, because I bring these up, and these were done You know, we saw these all the way back in 2017, and
But you
these
don't
are
know who owns that mold now. That it's not
right.
TS.
And that's the other thing too, is these were always on display at the Chosen Primes booth. So I'm really curious. I'd love some actual transparency on like what's going on with Make Toys, and you know, even though these weren't in Cybertron, I could see these selling.
I'll tell you right now, I'd at least get one more of those. Honestly, because that was a good figure.
Yeah, I honestly I like the way it looks as Skywarp with that neon green, or not neon green, but neon yellow cockpit and all.
I get it.
So
I mean, unfortunately, NDAs are a thing. So
yeah.
like,
but granted, like when you're a company that that operates via IP theft, do they matter that much? You know?
Oh, my man, violating NDA is serious business.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you go into Discovery, they're like, wait a minute, the whole basis of your company is violating intellectual property theft.
Apparently, hi, stunning mag. And yes,
what's up, Meg John? He just came out with a sticker set over on his Etsy shop. It looks really cool. He did all the Dinobots in like a chibi style. Really cool stuff. Just catching up on that stream from earlier. But yeah, I would like to see these actually come to fruition.
I would buy at least one more.
Yeah.
Maybe would I complete the set? Maybe.
Yeah. If they don't have issues with that mold, because that was the other thing I think that really shot Make Toys in the foot, was when they did the G2 Starscream, where it's like, okay, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. And then it came out with such massive QC issues. And that was actually one of the Chosen Prime exclusives. People forget that Make Toys did Chosen Prime exclusives for a minute.
That's true.
Because they did the G2 Inferno, which was just Inferno with a weird syringe and the squirt syringe. And then they did... Yeah. So, and that was, what, 2019?
Something like that.
Yeah. And, I mean, they do have other stuff. I mean, they have Chrome Dome. They could take their Hardhead, and they could take Hardhead and repaint him into Quake. But again, you know, depending on if they are in some sort of ownership or rights dispute, then...
You ain't going to see it.
Yeah. Just as they keep on showing their Grandmain, their you know, their highbrow at all the conventions, but they keep showing the same resin prototype they've been showing since 2017, 2018.
Speaking on that bracket, there was one of the booths there, one of the major ones. I was talking to them about some business, and they mentioned one of the things they tried to do, Iron Factory. Iron Factory, like just an accessory pack with all the samurai weapons. As an exclusive would be cool, but
yeah,
apparently it's a hard time doing that with Iron Factory's big on them on exclusive, I guess, stateside at least. Which is too bad because man, there could be some good Iron Factory exclusives.
Yeah. What's the one company that does like the Toy Hacks Armory stuff? I bought their kit to turn
DNA Design.
No, not DNA Designs.
Are you talking upgrade or stickers?
Well, they do upgrade kits and they work directly with Toy Hacks. Because I bought the one for the Party Wallop. Remember it at Baltimore?
Right, yeah. Baltimore. I remember. I don't remember the name, but I know which one you're talking about because they're doing that bludgeon.
Yeah. Shoot, I really can't remember what. But they do injection molding stuff, and they work directly with Toy Hacks. And I mean, I think the one challenge with doing third-party accessory kits is that they tend to not have exclusive, or I'm sorry, not exclusive, but they tend to not have standardized ports for the hands.
For some, right? But like Iron Factories are pretty standardized.
Yeah, non-F production. So non-F could probably do some exclusive add-on kits and whatnot.
Right, but like that's a hard one. Let me ask you: do you add custom classes as exclusives? Because they also
No.
offer those. They offer
Yeah.
the exclusively.
I mean, they are exclusive in that realm, but they're not. I wouldn't say that they count. I guess let's get before we go too far off the tracks. I guess let's get into the objectives of what we're doing. So we're looking at exclusives that are purely convention exclusives, or I guess we can also kind of go in with like site or limit exclusives for third party, not early releases. Like one that comes to mind is MMC Mentis, which was offered initially at TFCon. I think TFCon Baltimore 2021. But then it went on to have like a mass release. Other figures, yeah.
Rock Irish Culture, I think.
Yeah, well,
the Tarn one, I think.
Yeah, the Eris Culture, when she first came out, now that's an exclusive deco. So that technically is an exclusive still. So it was an early release, but the deco was exclusive. So, but stuff like
Side Rant.
Yeah.
They need to get off the fucking Tarn mold with Eris and just move her to something. Give me Optimus Eris off the Optimus Plexus mold. Give me that.
I agree. And they need to have a separate mold because they're, I think after 3 they've also kind of run their course with it. Though
on 4?
No, they have the Tarn one, they have Armada Megatron, and they have Galvatron.
Those 3, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm sure they'll probably do a Megatron. Though you'll hate one of my picks because I actually did pick that mold for one of my wish list ones. But
if it's good, I don't care. But like when you start doing 3, 4, 5 times make toys, like it's just like get off the pot. We can do something new, please. Like we're running out of secret colors at this point.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Skittle Marine secret at this point. It's just like all the colors of the rainbow.
Actually, another one I probably would do is if they did a G2 Thundercracker, just because it's so hideous. So I guess for those that don't know, well, actually, Action Master Thundercracker, not G2 Thundercracker.
You're an Action Master.
Have you ever seen Action Master Thundercracker?
No, it sounds like G1 stuff that I don't like.
Well, I mean, it's an Action Master, but
so it's an action figure.
It is an action figure, but this was how they decoed up Thundercracker for the Action Masters.
Is that like Mirage?
No. It's got like Dinobot head, like Dinobot's head almost. Granted, I mean it predates Dinobot, but yes, I do see like the G2 Mirage elements in here.
The lime green, the
pink
eyeball.
Yeah, I would get this just because it's absolutely hideous.
Hey man, they'll probably get it.
Yeah,
they'll probably do it.
And it's funny too that they did what they did for LA, like the 2 repaints. That's like, what are these? When they could have done like Nacelle, they could have done Red Wing, they could have done. God, really? They don't have a. I thought they had a Conehead. Yeah, they do have a Conehead variety. They could have done like G2 Sandstorm. Do the ones that I think people actually would want. Versus
200 people wanted those.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they've done a Ghost Starscream in that. I mean, that would be a good one because the Spartomias drug their feet on it.
Completely translucent. Deluxe will get up.
Deluxe, they absolutely would get it on the merit of being a Starscream and for being completely translucent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Double whammy.
So I guess where should we start? I mean, going back to the rules of it all, things like Steeljaw that released early at TFCon, they don't count. So it's just things that we would like to see as a true exclusive. And, obviously we're working within the confines of, they tend to not do too much in the realm of, remolding these. They'll do slight remolds. So we're not expecting like perfect, but just what would you?
The Autobot Tarn had the different color and mask.
Right.
I don't think his face underneath was different or not, but his mask.
Yeah, the face that they had underneath was like what they expected, because they initially expected a different character to be Tarn, and they missed the mark. So,
I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
I also always give props if you do alternate accessories too.
Mhm.
With the recolor.
Yeah, and we've seen that with like the MMC Joker, which I think was one of my favorites that they've done. And they did the Batman, but the Joker just was above and beyond. And it's funny when I do a Google search in here, since we've got him in here, I think this is appropriate to share out. But here's T-Man's photography for that figure. And they not only gave him a pistol, but they also gave him a really nice crowbar as well. And this was
beating action.
Yes. So, they did get rid of the cassette bot, but I do appreciate the fact that you got alternate heads.
I just had an exclusive idea. Reissue this as a 2-pack. Do you remember the squashed like gears or whatever? What was his name? Tailgate?
Yeah, they actually did. They made one years ago.
It's Joker with the 2-pack Joker and Jason Todd Robin, and it's just the squashed tailgate. Hell yeah, I'd laugh my ass off on that one. Yeah. Nobody else is laughing, and I'm sad.
I can't remember who made that tailgate.
I mean, I don't know. I think it might have been like Fans Rush because it was a joke release anyway. It's just squashed.
But it fit onto the bottom of Overlord's foot. Like it was like made of soft plastic. I can't remember who made that.
I don't remember. That's how old we are.
Yeah. We got Paul Morales hanging out, and we also got Raziel Kane in here. Good to see you guys. And T saying, I would rather some company make KOs of the Masterpiece Seeker 2.0, aka 3.0 in different color. And yeah, that would actually not only be better at this point, but it would probably also be cheaper than what Make Toys is selling these for. I guess you want to get into maybe some of the MMC wish list stuff first, since MMC is probably one of the bigger presences at TFCon.
You ain't wrong. What do you want?
So, I had some ideas, and I did put a few of these together. First,
someone.
What's that?
Optimus Plexus is Transtech Optimus Primal. No.
Not first. I do have that one, but my first idea is I would like to see that Eris mold reused as Harley. I think that would work out pretty well. I think the Azalea mold is just kind of dead, yeah. And I think that this looks way more in keeping with like the shape of Harley. You'd be able to get her into more feminine poses, and it would accommodate giving, and I'd want the classic, like the original Paul Dini design, not the Suicide Squad design, that's become pretty popular. I'd want like a more classic Harley to go with the more classic comic Joker. But this is one that I'd like to see. And the nice thing too is that while this does turn into a tank, I think it would match pretty well with the retool of Chrome Dome into the Joker mobile.
Sure. So Harley as a tank confuses me.
Yeah, I think it would work. Hey CDI, how's it going? Yeah, T says he'd allow it. I think it would work, and I think too, with like especially the Eris Lucenite mold where they gave her the arm cannon. Like you could give Harley like maybe even reuse the Joker pistol and just give it more of a snub barrel.
Maybe,
but those expressive hands and the fact that it's a much more feminine body style, I think would work pretty well.
Or then you could do a future repack. What's the either MMC Ravage as her hyenas?
Yeah, the hyenas would work. Redo the tapes. And I like T's idea too. Give her a hammer instead of the turret, or
the hammer becomes the turret.
The hammer becomes the turret. So that would work out pretty well, I think.
Hi Zeta. Yep.
Hey Zeta, how's it going?
I don't know who you are, but hi.
So that's my first one. I've got a couple more DC ones in here as well. So one I kind of came up with. Mm-hmm.
My turn. You did one. I'm gonna do one.
Okay. I'll let
I know
you.
it's your show. Don't you dare hog it. I'm not here on.
I'm not gonna
all
hog
the
it.
time.
We'll alternate.
Okay. You want to stay on MMC or you want to? Does it matter?
Let's stick with MMC first.
Okay.
Because I want to go through the ones that actually do show up at conventions, and then do the ones that we'd like to see at conventions.
That's fair. I mean, the big thing for me is like I like extra accessories and stuff because it makes it feel different. When you're just doing recolors, man. So I know we got Bulkhead and Striker out of what was that name of that MMC character?
That was Dickamus. That was originally Roadbuster, but the name was Dickamus.
Well, I think you could also get a rescue bot, Boulder maybe out of it, or a Heat Wave. We're getting into that time frame, and it's just like, like I want more. Look, I may be biased because my nephew's gotten into rescue bots and stuff, but there's very little rescue bot representation. That's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At least it's finally happening in Age of Primes. We're getting that nice looking Heat Wave out of Bulkhead, and
yeah, we're getting a Bulkhead. We're getting Heat Wave. We have a Chase. I don't know what the hell Hasbro's going to do a Blades out of.
Yeah. I did see a cool Digibash of the animated Prime and Rescue Bots Prime. So people are thinking about it. Hey, Deluxe, thanks for stopping by.
Hi, Deluxe. I told a story about you.
Oh, I like this idea here, too, that MMC should do a hot shot.
Oh, absolutely. I am down for more representation when it comes to shows, things that third party's not doing. Our Unicron trilogy, Rescue Bots, RID, both RIDs.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually G1 or the comic book or,
G2 gets a lot of representation in third parties.
Yeah, because that's easy money. That's low-hanging fruit. Just paint it bad colors. You paint a bad G1 figure, bad colors, it's fine. I'm just saying, Protector Bots as rescue bot colors would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. No G1 style. No,
I don't know. I like
enough
taking those characters and putting them in, because I do like what they did with the Bulkhead. Like MMC did a Bulkhead, and I picked that up. I never got around to getting the X-Trans Bots one, but that was one of my favorite repurposes of that Dickamus mold. Challenge with Lugnut is what would they be able to use? Like Knockout would be an easy one to do, but there's a few vehicles that would make for a decent Knockout. But what would you do for Lugnut? Like, how do you that still is one of the best universe figures that they've ever just done as a one-off, or I guess it's Hunt for the Decepticons.
Lugnut or Lugnut from Cybertron?
Lugnut from the Hunt for the Decepticons, when they had it so the wings became the arms.
Got it. Okay, I remember that one. I think I remember that one. But I mean, it's just more stuff that has less representation. So like, so I definitely think the Dickamus mold could be used to make some sort of rescue bot, whether it's Boulder, probably Heat Wave. You could do easy, because then like you just take the weapons and turn them into like fire hoses. Who doesn't like Transformers with hard hats? All right, your turn.
All right, so next up, we're gonna keep with the DC Rogues Gallery, and this was one that I came up with right before we went live, and I happened to think, oh my god, this, because MMC loves the repaints. They've never repainted this one, and this was their take on Nickel. I can't remember what the because she was in the 2-pack.
Yeah,
was
it with the cat thing? I forget the cat's name.
With oh god, I can't remember the third party names.
I don't know the third party names. I don't know the real names. I know it was the cat dude, not Ravage, but someone else. Like
the pet.
The pet. That was the name.
Yeah. Yeah, they did make that into Ravage, and that would also be a good one too to get hyenas for Joker and Harley out of with that pet mold.
That's true. I think
You
I
know?
said that.
Well,
That would
I
be,
thought you said Ravage. I thought you were talking about the tape.
if you want to be different, you do one Ravage and do one as the peck.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Because then I guess that wouldn't be as cheap as just double dipping.
Yeah. And I mean, they could get rid of the tool accessories and just give an umbrella, a top hat on there. I think that would look pretty cool.
Think you'd have to make the top hat movable? Yes.
You would, but
third-party names are irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah, third-party names. It's hard to stay on top because they're there. They're typically like inside jokes or nods, and once you get it on the shelf, it stops being the third-party name and starts being the character it was meant to be.
I don't know what you're talking about. I refer to Optus Plexus as Optus Plexus all the time. That's not a hard name, Optus Plexus.
Except it's Plexus, and you've been calling him Plexus.
What? It's close enough, Dickamus.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next up, do you have another one for MMC?
So I'm going to copy you on the DC thing. I think you could do that same rewind mold, or not rewind. Was it? Who's Joker based off? What's the name?
That was Chrome Dome.
Chrome Dome, Mr. Freeze.
You could. That would. I could see that. He's got the right proportions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
Either that or Riddler, but that's way too close.
Well, I think Riddler would be. I think Riddler would be perfect for
Hot Rod.
No, right. It's one that they've never remolded. And I'm trying to remember what his fake name was.
Just say the character. I don't remember. Names don't matter. Third party.
It was Kaon. So Kaon, was it Kaon?
Was that the one with 4 arms?
No.
I'll take it back. There was. Oh, that was Kaon. Was the electric?
The electric chair.
Yeah, you could do that. It'd be weird into an electric chair.
Like I think either Kaon or Mentis, which they would be pretty perfect for the Riddler. I mean, again, they've never done anything with either of them, but they're like the right lanky proportions. I think the electric chair alt mode would probably be a better choice for the Riddler since he's all about the death traps and all.
Right. But I don't know if that's a mold they're going to redo because of electric chair thing. It's kind of...
It's morbid, but,
One way to put it. He was by himself. He wasn't a 2-pack with Voz.
No, he wasn't. He just had a little scorpion bot drone.
Yeah. No. So that would be my pick. Mr. Freeze, probably as the electric chair would be better than as Chrome Dome.
And I got one more DC one. And this one's just kind of this might be a little lazy, but I think it would work. And I love this mold to death. But I mean it's a little on the nose, but doing Calidus, their hot rod as the Flash.
Get your shit out of here with that.
I think it's very on the nose, but I think it would work. I think it would be popular.
Picture. These are both the same thing. Like, what do? You just change. Yellow becomes red. Red becomes like it's easy.
I know it's easy. That's why I'm saying I think it would work. I think it would be a slam dunk. I think you give him a new head and you change the fins for the spoiler to lightning bolts, and I think you got a slam dunk. And the best part is, as the Flash, he doesn't need any accessories.
How dare you? Electrical.
Give him effects parts. I mean, So I think that would be a good one.
Bro, that wasn't low hanging fruit. That fruit was already on the ground. You gave it a kick.
I'm just saying.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am proud of myself.
Okay.
I mean, the other one. I mean, they need to do a Superman at some point, but if they were going to do this, I mean, you can't just go Batman, Flash, and not have Superman. But yeah, I would just hate for them to keep reusing that Arrow Alpha mold.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
So, because what else would you do for Superman?
Hard.
I mean, you could, but I just don't see that unless they were to do like one of the extensive retools like they did Roller, but then there's all that kibble like,
yes,
he's got to have a cape. Definitely got to have a cape.
You can do the electric Superman. Cape.
Yeah. I mean, you could do the electric Superman, but I just think that they need to have like a new flying, like new jet-based mold.
The Brave Meg's the only way I would agree with RC and the Wonder Woman if it's not the original Azalea.
Actually, you know what they could use for Superman, and it's like completely non-intuitive.
Okay.
You mean? Let me pull them up.
Tarn with wings. I like it.
No, not Tarn with wings. It's another mold that they really don't reuse.
There's a lot.
I think it would work. Let me get a couple pictures pulled up here.
Orion Pax mold?
No, not Orion Pax.
That's Brave Megatron suggestion.
Reformatted Megatron. I think he's got the proportions.
Does have the proportions.
And the barrel's removable. They do the cape already. Put a new chest piece there with the big S.
Yeah.
Of course they wouldn't be able to just, put the S there, but in terms of like vehicle modes,
right.
I think they could do that.
Right.
Blue, red, and gold. I think that would work really well.
Yep, you ain't wrong. Pretty good.
So,
forgot that one existed.
So. Yeah, and you kind of forget about it because it's like they don't do too many, outside of that Arrow Alpha mold, which they also repurposed into Drift. They really don't do too many flying vehicles.
Yep. Dark side out of that mold from Brave Meg, that'd be pretty good too.
Yeah, that would work.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, I'm for it.
And that mold's made for it too, because they sold the core of it extra, so you could do two, right? So like that'd be easy. I feel like because it's made for Snap-on parts. It looks like,
and then they would look really good fighting together. I saw Reverse Flash and Booster Gold mentioned. RC into Wonder Woman.
We cannot get a Booster Gold if there's not a Blue Beetle to go with it.
I agree with that. Did you have any more for MMC? Because I've got two left.
I just had one that popped in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely for Chrome Dome with the right proportions, Plastic Man. Because like that thin, lanky thing that just works for him. But I don't know what you do for accessories besides stretchy bits and.
Yeah, that'd be tough. At least given the big sunglasses. That's all.
You gotta have the sunglasses.
Yeah. That's all I ask.
Gotta have the sunglasses. And the big sheet-eating grin.
Yes. So outside of DC, I have one that I think would work well for Marvel, and this is less of a Marvel Comics homage and more of a Marvel crossovers Transformers. One of the most beloved Marvel crossover Transformers. These were like officially licensed crossovers back when Hasbro got the Marvel license. They did the Hulk as a tank, and people love that figure. And I feel like people would probably eat this up.
Yes, but the wrong figure.
Which one do you think should have been the pick?
Which one's the DJD with 4 arms, including the little arms? And the big burly arms. Did you just take out the small arms?
I think that was
his name. But he was the blue one, not the tan one with the X face. Also, Brave Meg suggests female tar mold for Wonder Woman. I can see it.
Yeah, that would work. That'll work. I think that one was called. Well, that was Tortor. That was their Thesaurus. I think that would work, though. The thing is, would that really work for an exclusive? Like, would they be pushing the price? Because I recall he was like close to like $300, and that was like.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
That is the wrong one. That would make a good thing.
The Helix.
Yep, you want Helix? Yeah, that's the name. I think.
I was gonna say.
He's the blue one.
Yeah.
He's got the big old arms.
Yeah.
Although I guess you could keep the little arms, make them flesh colored, some Immortal Hulk crap. So
yeah, I think too, if you were to do it, you'd probably also want to give him 5 fingers.
I mean, maybe you don't have to. God, you're so picky.
I mean, that would work. You know, give him the Hulk head. You know, I just think that the Dickamus alt mode would work better. You being the armored vehicle.
I think you're wrong because I don't think Dickamus is big enough for a proper Hulk.
I get being proper, but when you're doing like an exclusive for a convention, you know, like Fans Hobby's been pushing it with what they've been offering from like a price perspective. But I think like, you know, if you're MMC, you want to have something that's kind of like in that, you know, $120 range that like most people that attend the convention could, you know, reasonably fathom for like a one-off.
Naval Commander.
Mm-hmm.
God Delta Magnus.
Oh yeah.
Like, your point's wrong. So both at least over $200.
Well, I think they got away with Obsidian Commander and the Naval Command. Well, Obsidian Commander,
Delta, the God Magnus, the big Power Magnus Prime.
I think that one. And I didn't get that one.
You didn't get that one doesn't mean it wasn't sold, and it's over $350.
No, well, the Chosen Prime also is selling that as their mascot as well. So I think they fudged it a little bit to bake in some lore. Plus, you can bank on Optimus Prime collectors to come through.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out there's that are $300.
I get that. I'm just saying that, like, I think if MMC was going to repaint this green, it would probably be a little bit more of a risk for them.
I don't know. This dude was like 150.
Was he?
I don't even know. He was not like, he didn't break 200 for sure, but I think he was at least 100 and some change.
So let's see.
Drift is Nightwing is not a bad one too.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that. You know,
but Drift's been used a lot because he had an exclusive that was like I think an anime reference. He had the movie colors version,
which did show up in comics.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So, yeah, when MMC Moors came out, the Chosen Prime had him for $179, but I think that was 2019 when I completed that set?
Probably. I have him somewhere.
You know, if they could keep the price under 200, I think it could work.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying people have bought more. I mean, yes, Prime is a safe bet.
Yes.
Omega Prime. What do you say? All right, what's next for you?
I got one more left for MMC, and that is a Prime, obviously. So
of course.
They did a Trans-Tech Cheetor a few years back using that mold from Chrome Dome, and so why not do a Trans-Tech Prime? And that's where I think Optus Pexus would be a good candidate. You know, Transtech Prime was supposed to be that merger of truck and monkey, as you can see on the gorilla face on the front of the truck. Would this be perfect? No. As long as they were able to get some sort of semblance of that gorilla face painted on there, I think it would work. They also have kind of multiple versions of this, and if Hasbro is able to get the Gamer Edition Prime retooled into the Stormbringer Prime, I think they could probably do a little bit of retooling. And I think because of who the character is or is supposed to be, I think that they would probably be pretty successful in doing it. I think this character would need to have articulated hands for sure. And as long as I think they got the head and the chest right, I think it would be a slam dunk, and it would look good with the Cheetor.
Brave Megs, I agree with you, but that's a third-party wish list is another thing than exclusives.
Well, what's funny too is they actually teased. They claimed it was April Fools, but they did tease a updated version of Knight Commander. Let me see if I can pull that up.
That's nifty. Like Brave Megs wants a proper masterpiece, Hearts of Steel Prime. Like I said, if we're gonna go into like what I want from a third party, I mean, I got lists for days, but exclusives are a little harder because that'd be a complete new mold unless you did it out of like an Astro Train or some shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like where I saw that teased. I saw it in the threads of TFW where they were like, oh, that was an April Fool's thing.
I believe it
because MMC loves to do that sort of thing.
There's a lot of companies that do. Some of them turn out to be true. I think only once. Was that Unicron? I don't remember.
One of the April Fool's jokes was shoot, I had it on the tip of my tongue, and now I'm like, now I'm losing it.
You got the brain.
Yeah, I know. I do have the old tired brain.
The future is now, old man.
Yeah.
I mean, just moving away from MMC. I mean, God. The problem is, I would love some more fans hobby stuff, but I don't need more Nemesis colored dudes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like I said, I want more representation for stuff that we don't usually get a lot of, like Unicron Trilogy, Rescue Bots, RAD.
Yeah.
Although if Beastbox did some alternates that looked like some of those Decepticons from 2015 RAD, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and I do have Beastbox on here. So we, I do want to talk about 5.2 Toys because they are a presence at BotCon.
Nice.
And they do exclusives. So if we go over to Agabus's page, we go up to their BotCon exclusives.
Because it'd be real easy just to do some minor remolds on some of those things to do the more animalistic one. Decepticons from RID.
Yeah. And what I'd like to see Beastbox do, we were talking about Energon not too long ago.
Minicons?
Not just minicons, but some of the Energon drones.
That'd be good. Like Battle Ravage, Dive Bomb. Oh, they make a sick-ass dive bomb. But would they have to transform into a box?
Well, they all do transform into boxes. I just think it would be cool if they could, because again, these do beast and these are the beast drives here. But yeah,
dude, you could totally do some of the RID guys out of these because that was basically some of them. What was the one that basically turned into like a sedan wagon and he was a lobster? Bisque, that was his
Bisque,
name?
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah, they could definitely do some homages with what they have.
You could do some Velocitron guys off that too.
Yeah.
They're smart enough. I bet they could do like the car mode is a Velocitron reference. The beast mode is a Beast Planet reference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
But
would just
that's
love to see these in black, white, and neon green, to be honest.
yeah, just alternate color. Yeah, but they could do that. Just saying. Just
So,
saying.
another thing that 5.2 Toys really could do is kind of go in on like the Energon cube element.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yeah, the boxes that they fit in, they also double up as Energon cubes and do those in purple.
Purple or pink.
Yeah, purple, pink. I think that would be really awesome. And yeah, no, they're not exactly cassettes, but they could do, like do a Battle Ravage that comes in a pink, purple,
I mean, 5.2 Toys is also kind of like Toy Notch in that they have their own thing they do.
Yeah.
But they do these things. Hell yeah, they could.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Wu kind of is doing that whole box transformation where they're doing like they have like the Triptychon and Metroplex that have the box form, have the base form, have the little mobile battle platform, and the robot modes. They've kind of like turned them into quadruple changers.
Yeah.
So it's not like the box the box Transformers thing has its own niche carved out. It's almost it kind of scratches that itch for people that do the SD stuff, and they also do the the chibi SD stuff, and they also do the legend scale because they tend to be smaller figures in general.
All right, I have my next exclusive.
What you got?
Astrobot Argus as anything. DC, Marvel, do anything with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's one of the most underrated, and Toy Notch is very closely linked to Mastermind Creations, and it's kind of a shame too because they really kicked Astrobots off at TFCon, and if you're not familiar with it, Lance is probably the biggest advocate of this toy line, and they've come out with some really cool,
they have
really cool bot modes.
Give me a female Astrobot that has two sets of the big claw hand. You can make a Catwoman out of that.
What I'd like to see is if they're going to do like exclusives for TFCon, why not do like Beast Wars protoforms? Why not create Beast Wars or, again, I know not everybody loves Bayverse stuff, but, do those entry mode protoforms. I think that would be really cool.
Or, I mean, you talk about Action Masters, that thing's built to do an Action Master thing, man. Yeah. You just need to do some remolding on it. I'd buy that Action Master.
Yeah.
Not just because it'll have the Astrobot logo on it. But if you guys anyone in the comments ever finds these, buy one, and you will not be disappointed. I gave one to my 3-year-old nephew.
That is a true. I was there when you bought the other one.
You were there when I bought like 2 more.
Yes.
And I don't need them. That makes like 6 or 8 that I have. You know why? Because they're cool. But these came with shotguns.
Yeah, they're very cool, well-made, well-balanced figures with big, chonking, articulated hands
and feet.
And feet. Yeah.
So good.
Well, let's get into the other big one at conventions, at least big for
toys.
What's that?
Make Toy Seeker.
Well, technically, we already did. We actually kind of kicked things off with Make Toys.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fans Hobby.
But here's they don't have enough stuff.
I could only really think of one when I was trying to brainstorm like what you could do, and so
they have had one in the past that worked pretty well. Do you remember? They did. Was it the double-headed dragon, Twinferno? I think.
Mm-hmm.
As a mix between like Beast Wars Megatron and RID Megatron from 2000.
Yeah, and that was kind of an homage to a BotCon repaint of a reformatted Beast Machines Megatron.
Right.
And I kind of like the concept, but I didn't like how the final product came out.
Well, the last monster bot in that trio was a little lackluster, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, Fly Pro or
I love
Pro Tusk.
I love the Repugnus, and that's one of the first customs I did where I gave him KFC hands.
Yeah, Repugnus is a great one, and that's a also unique mold too. There's the Dragon Megatron they did, which, the thing I like about Fans Hobby is they do tend to do some extensive retooling when they do their exclusives.
Yeah, unless it's a Nemesis coloration.
Unless it's a Nemesis coloring, but in the case of this, including the hands, including the new wings, the RID Gigatron, Megatron weapon, whichever you want to call them, and a Beast Megatron head.
Oh, they did do a smaller Headmaster fire truck guy too.
Yeah,
but all they did was change the color and the retool on the head a little bit. But yeah, Fans Hobbies is cool. I like this stuff. Look, they need to do more deluxe size figures for Cybertron stuff. Then we could do so much. Yeah. I believe they could do an Armada Hotshot very well, and they could redo it then into like a Cybertron Crosswise wheel or whatever. I think they could do that.
Yeah, give us a proper Sideways as well. All right, give us a proper Sideways, but give us a proper side swipe. That's what I meant to say.
I mean, a proper Scavenger.
Yeah, and
you were
not only that, but give us a proper smoke screen.
So side rant, I was looking at TFCon for a side swipe to send you. Nobody wanted less than $40 for them. I ain't paying.
I can't imagine who would be willing to pay that. That's masochism.
Yeah, no, I was not paying $40 for that piece of shit.
So I came up with one, and it's a Beast Wars 2 homage.
Go on.
And this is basically taking their destroyer, which is their Dreadwind, and turning that into a Beast Wars 2 Starscream.
Sure.
So I mean, they would have to do new wings. I don't know if they would do a BB or
I got one for you though. I think you'll like this one a lot.
What do you got?
All right. So they're Repugnus.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to do an extensive retool on that head. What? Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. At least for the
I can kind of see that a bit, but I think that would have to be a super extensive retool.
No, the beast head alone would have to be where most of that gets retooled.
Yeah,
because that would have to become the dragon head. The beast feet are fine.
Yeah,
and then the claw arms or whatever, and he didn't never really have even Dragon Form. He didn't really have wings.
Yeah, they were just more of a cape that kind of came behind him.
Yeah, I think you could. If anybody could do it, like I said, I think they could.
Yeah. But would that really be an exclusive? Because I could kind of see that being more of like a evergreen release. I could see if they did a proper.
I think that you do that as an exclusive because it's too neat. How many Beast Wars 2 third-party characters, even mainstream characters?
Well, it does fill a gap because there is a Masterpiece scale Lyo Convoy, and I could see a lot of people wanting a counterpart to him in their display. So it's niche, but I do think that there is a market for it.
I don't see it personally. I don't know if you get the drill tank form out of it either. You probably could.
Yeah, but it would have to be a really, really heavy.
No,
I think
at that point you just focus on the dragon mode.
I mean, to be honest, I think if they were going to do Galvatron from Beast Wars, I think there's a more logical choice.
What's that one?
Let me pull it up.
Is it their normal dragon head or the beast one?
Yeah, when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Now that's what I'll say. Oh, okay. That's the best punchline you can come up with. That Jesus.
No, because this is a triple changer already.
Okay, so it's bad.
No, it's a good triple changer.
There's very few good triple changes.
But I think
Not even
that
Medic slash unique. Okay, maybe.
I think that they could.
I think you'd be better off getting like a Armada or Cyberforce Red Alert or Red Alert himself off of that before you get a Beast Force 2 Galvatron.
Well, yeah, I think they could get Red Alert out of that, and they did do a version of this mold that gets rid of the wings and gets rid of the Condor parts. I think they could get that Red Alert out of this, but I think too they could retool that Condor into being a bit more of a dragon, and also giving it a drill tank. Would it be perfect? No, but I think it would be a good enough homage to the Beast Wars 2 Galvatron.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'll tell you right now, I'd love an Armada Red Alert, and they could just take the chicken parts out. It'd probably be better.
Yeah.
Because
they did.
MMC one.
What's that? Oh, yeah, the MMC one. Actually, honestly, MMC could probably take their double dealer and turn that into a decent enough Beast Wars Galvatron.
Yeah, because it's got a little more chong.
Yeah.
That one is probably slim enough to do a Red Alert. The other one you showed.
And let's get back over here because I can show you like where they did do the Machine Wars. They did Fans Hobby Machine Wave.
Look,
that's what he was called.
I never found any of the Cybertron Defense Force at TFCon. Bad.
That sucks. You'd think that like some of those more beloved characters would start showing up, but they could totally take this. This is where they retooled it and make that a Red Alert.
Cybertron Defense Force Red Alert.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, just for people that don't know which one we're talking about. But yeah, all you need is a big ass nuke. Although I want it to have those accessories too.
Yeah, I mean with Fans Hobby, that's like the one company where I would be pretty confident that if they did it, they would go out and do all the accessories at least the best that they could.
Right.
But I think that would look the part.
Oh yeah, Burgers for the boys on that one.
Yeah, and then just replace the Power Master gimmick with a minicon.
Yeah.
There's
another thing. I would love Fans Hobby do minicon packs as exclusive.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like that would be a slam dunk. I don't know why they don't do that. And then also too, you're then creating a new tier of exclusives that are more affordable for people going to the conventions.
Because like you could do. You could just mix and match because you take the Skyboom Defense Force, the yellow. Well, I can't say yellow one; they're all fucking yellow. The one that becomes the point of the shield, right? The pinhead, the racer one. Recolor them red. Boom! Starscream is minicon.
Well, that better come with their Starscream.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's also it's an exclusive, but it also previews for things coming per se.
Yeah.
And it'd be easy enough to retool some of those into some of the other minicons, right? In theory, because like I said, that part of the defense or the Skyboom shield was basically Armada's Starscream's minicon to begin with, right? I mean, I did end up picking up the Requiem Blaster team while I was there. I think it's the individual. It's still good. Combined mode is probably better than Star Saber, but not as good as Skyboom.
So it's not as droopy. As we first saw in Baltimore?
No, it's not that. It's not that droopy.
Okay.
It's still, and I might be missing this, but why can't the fucking rocket go on the back of the black truck?
That's a good question.
I don't know if I'm fucking it up or it's not a feature. If it's not a feature, shame on you, Fans Hobby. Shame on you.
Yeah, I love Fans Hobby, but there's been just like they've been like missing the mark just a little bit here and there.
Yeah, part. But you could also redo that black truck to be one of the Bone Crusher from one of the destruction teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could just do tiny minicon molds, and we will buy the shit out. Redo Spark Plug in one of the Speed Racer color, or actually that's a good one too. Just paint as a Speed Racer. There's one. the Hotshot repainted as Mach 1
Yeah.
from NMC. There you fucking go. Cut, print, send it to the bank. Somebody would buy that. But yeah, you could just redo some of the Minicon molds and just do a pack of them. That was the biggest thing. Probably one of the biggest things I bought there was a bag full of old ass Minicons to give to my nephew.
You know what else they could do? I just happen to think of with that same mold.
Cocaine.
They could do cocaine, but remember when we got the Universe Onslaught?
No, because at that point I was out. But I've seen that thing. It looks cool as fuck.
Could change the rocket to be
a SWAT shield.
Yeah, give him a SWAT shield, and that's all it does is just change the accessories out. But
that's great. That has the worst name though, because if you put Onslaught on a Transformer name, you expect it to be a combiner at this point.
Basically, yeah.
But that's a good looking boy.
There are some people that probably like have fond memories of this one.
It's like sweet ass looking toy. Honestly, that should have been named Barricade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny too. I never got him back in the day because he didn't combine. I was just like, what's...
That's another thing, fans. How about if you do a Hotshot, you could do it black with an evil head and call it Barricade. Look, I'm making money for you for free.
So let's move away from so typically at conventions we've got MMC and Fans Hobby and Make Toys are like the big three. New Age used to kind of have a presence, as did Planet X, and I don't know what the deal with Planet X is.
Unfortunately,
what's that?
I think they may be dead.
I think they might be. I saw a release that was still coming from them. I know, like they had their the last one I know of was their Victory Leo.
I think there was, I don't know if they put it out or not, but the last previews I remember seeing were like IDW. They were working on the IDW MP Dinobots because Grimlock came out.
Yeah,
and I think Sludge was the next one, the Brontosaurus.
Yeah,
but I don't know if that ever materialized.
I do have one that I want them to do, and it's not a G2 Grimlock because,
good.
Good.
I'm proud of you.
Just don't. But what I would like for them to do, make this Mecha Godzilla.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm
down.
Because like Takara Tomy really shit the bed with their Godzilla homages.
Brother, they missed the bed and hit the curtains.
Yeah. And I think that there's a really good opportunity to make this into a transforming Mecha Godzilla.
Hell yeah.
Now, I do have this mold as well, and it's a great mold.
Me too.
So.
Oh yeah, it's real good. But yeah, Planet X used to have stuff too. But you used to have good exclusives too. Fans Project.
Yeah, let's talk about that's a good segue because Fans Project, they used to have a big presence, and you're a big fan of this mold. So let's talk about Steel Core and all the possibilities.
Oh yes, and honestly, it just probably you could update that mold very minorly. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was a unique concept too. For those that don't know, walk them through the concept of Steel Core.
So the idea was the core of them, it's very Power Masterish. There's a dude in the middle. You see the blue part of the chest. They kick him out. It could drive in them, but it was basically like an exorcist. You could just change out the chest, and it could interchange. But what I loved was the weapon transformed as well. Like, yeah, it was a very Power Mastery gimmick, except the Power Master became a rider too. Not unlike what they did with the Unrustable Bastards, that line that died real bad.
Yeah, well, that was thanks to our old pal Spence. But Spence kind of took the money and ran with the Masterpiece scale Tetrajets, and unfortunately, everybody that was connected to, because they had big plans for Unrustable Bastards, like they wanted to do They wanted to go legit, like Ramen Toys is trying to do.
Oh yeah, and I saw some of their concepts for like the Ninja one. I still have them somewhere.
They came out with, they weren't overly ambitious, but they came out with accessory packs and all. They were using the same factory and quality plastic MMC was using. It's like,
it was a good figure. I have them,
but
I like them a lot.
The initial comparisons for Unrustables came to Steel Core. And Fans Project was like one of the OGs with third party. I mean, they were doing chug scale figures, and they did a lot. If not, I think they did all the Headmasters, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yes, they did them all at one point. Because the Function series. Yeah, the last one they did was Highbrow. They managed to get them all out. Highbrow was probably the worst.
Still came out.
They got them all out. They were good. I think I still have them.
And then they also had their Dinobots. They had, I think one of the last ones they had was the G2 Tiger Stripe Grimlock.
The last one they did was their Stegosaurus. I forget his name. Not Slug. Snarl? I always get the Dinobots mixed up. And that one was a little disappointing. But like all the previous ones, like their Swoop, Sludge, Grimlock, the Triceratops were all good. And the yellow Tiger Stripe one, I think, was a exclusive for TFCon.
Yeah, because they even redid this into
a Severo
core. Yep.
Which was Grimlock's head, and he had a chainsaw.
Yep. And let me go ahead and we'll pull this one up here, because they did have like a Grimlock deco. This was just a really versatile mold, and you can see on the forearms where they did like the claws. Yeah.
Claws. Yep, it was good. And there was at one point at TFCon that you saw there was a table full of several like exclusive or alternate ideas they did based off the Steel Core mold. One I remember was they were doing RID landfill. Every limb was basically a different color based off of landfill, the combiner from RID. Hello, Prince.
Hey, Princeton, how's it going?
But yeah. Now, TF Source, go buy that fucking mold. Go buy the Steel Core mold and have fun. Yeah. Give me that.
And I think
Grimloctimus,
he did it himself. So Grimloctimus, one of the best customizers in the game, and this is what could have been.
Oh yeah, that would be cool as hell.
And this custom's from all the way back in 2019, and this would definitely sell, especially like with Omega Prime coming out. I feel like a lot of people would want stuff like this. I mean, before the show, we talked about how they could turn this into Armada Overlord, Overload, or Energon Ultramag. Yeah.
There's definitely some digital bashes I saw, like Overlord, Ultra Magnus. From Animated, I think I saw one too. Landfill. Not Landfill.
Landmine from Energy.
Yeah. And then you could just have a cool... And Fans Project was good at doing, like, add-on armor kits. That's one of the things they broke them in. They did the Parallax series, right?
Yeah, and these are all just, they were just very modular toys, and that's something I think that's the mark of a good exclusive, is when you have a modular figure, giving people something new.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah. But like, you do a lot with that one, and that's what you want. You want a mold you can do a lot with, which is again.
Oh, you know what? I got to go back to this too, because not only did he have the combine mode, it again, like, this isn't a combiner, but showing that it's still transformed, and on top of that, alternate configurations for this. So
So good. So good. Love that mold. I think I would dig that out at some point.
Yeah, and definitely if you are looking for, and not everybody likes the old third party stuff, but if you're like looking for a curiosity piece, some of the fans project stuff can be found really cheap, and the quality of it will surprise you because a lot of it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, if you ever see the function boxes, those were their headmasters, and those were quite good. And we did get an exclusive. They did a red and white off of the crocodile. Was it Jaw Cruncher,
Yes.
Jaw Smasher, Skull Cruncher?
Yeah,
they did an Optimus Prime one where the headmaster just had Optimus Prime faceplate and stuff, and that was pretty cool. I think I don't know if I ever got that one or I just got the Skull Cruncher, but that one was real good.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's a picture of it.
Coming a nostalgia stream.
Well, I mean, third party. I feel like more people need to kind of do history of third party. There's a channel I came across not too long ago, Ron Bondejan, who's trying to do third party historian stuff. But the problem with his channel I found is some of the facts he gets are, I think he's getting a bit wrong. I've talked to Deluxe about this too, because he's trying to do some third party history stuff, and he's been around it, and he also, he's been around third party since its inception, and he agrees that a lot of it needs to be preserved. And I think he was talking about doing a series just revisiting some of the old third party stuff and talking about it.
I'm down when he gets the Planet X Dinobots or the fans project stuff. Or Perfect Effect. God, I love me some Perfect Effect. I miss you, baby.
Perfect Effect, yeah, they were the OGs. Yeah.
Oh God.
X Transbots did exclusives for a while, and they've kind of slowed down and stopped. I have a love-hate relationship with them, so I'm not really sure if I'd want to see them return to doing exclusives. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Fuck X Transbots. No, here's my thought. It's just recolors of masterpieces, man. I mean, we got that going with Ruination right now. That's going to happen with that MMC Devastator and Fans Project Devastator, and how many other fucking Devastators we're fucking getting. One of those would not surprise me to be the MMC one. I'm going to call it right now. There will be a convention exclusive of that one. Probably going to be yellow.
Yeah, I mean,
or remold of the Prowlhead.
The last MMC exclusive that I really remember, I'm sorry, not MMC exclusive, but X Transbots exclusive that I thought was a neat concept where they actually went above and beyond was their lift ticket.
Yeah. That's an exclusive? Wasn't that just that was the Diaclone version of was it Hoist?
Yes, it's a Diaclone version of Hoist, but they made it a Christmas version and they gave him Santa heads.
Why the fuck does he have Jack Skellington's Santa head?
I mean,
holy shit! Read it. What the? I have never seen this.
Yeah,
this
was from TFCon 2021. I can't remember which TFCon it was. Whether it was, I can't remember if it was Baltimore or not, because that was October, and I can't remember if they missed. You know what? Actually, I think what had happened was they missed, because remember at that TFCon there were a bunch of exclusives that just didn't ship in time because we were still having COVID delays and all.
I think so, yeah.
So I think they just kind of gave up on exclusives, and now X Transbots they do all kinds of recolors, and they just hit BBTS and TF Source, and then I see them go on ridiculous clearances. So I think they've just kind of given up on doing any convention exclusives. Which,
look, if you're talking X Transbots, you're basically talking MP scale exclusive. Yeah. What you want. So you're pretty much going to get recolors, or maybe weird accessory packs with them like that one. Hoist is definitely killing people in the North Pole. He is Santa's hitman. Do not get on the naughty list.
I think this is kind of smart to have as, if you're gonna make any of these, your Christmas character. Why not? I mean, I do have that Christmas Optimus Prime that they put out, which, again, he's got the big. He's looking pretty jolly there.
My God. That's glorious. I'm not going to get it because it's X Transbot, but my God, that's glorious.
And to be fair, this is actually one of their better molds. As far as like, what's that?
A step above bad is just okay.
I think it's a little bit better than okay, but it's not the greatest in the world. I will say it's better than the Bad Cube one by a bit, but then you get into
talk about Bad Cube.
Yeah, well, they were early day third party stuff. I think they had their time.
Yep, and now they're dead.
They are. They did make a good. They did make a good Pipes and Huffer. You got to give them that.
Shafter?
No. That was X Transbots.
Oh, I hated that thing.
Yeah, that was terrible. Crank and Shafter were awful.
Okay, that's what she said.
So I'm not a big Legends guy. We talked a little bit about Iron Factory, and to be fair, I don't think New Age ever really had any true exclusives. Like, I think they did like early releases. They did the black repaint of Megatron.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah. As far as Legends go, do you think Legends kind of just work without relying on convention exclusives, or would you like to see any Legends?
I mean, I think the market has just proven that it works. You can recolor something a million times. Someone's going to buy it. Look at how many... Just looking at New Age.
Yeah.
How many variants of Dinobots do they have? Clear, toy accurate?
All the shattered glass.
Shattered glass, which is cool, but like...
Comic accurate now.
Comic accurate, like...
Yeah.
I don't think you need an exclusive. The only way... I just don't think Legends need exclusives because there are, well, New Age maybe not, but they're already on the cheaper side of third party. Usually, Legends are usually. New Age, not so much to me.
Yeah, New Age is getting up there. I think DX9 has a good opportunity to get back into things.
Maybe, but again, I think it's also a Legend scale figure is an easier sell than. I just don't think you need to do an exclusive. How many can you think of any Legend scale figures that got an exclusive? Can you think of any?
I mean, other than, like I said, that one Megatron, that's all that comes to mind.
One Megatron, and how many years ago was that?
2021.
Not too bad, but still, like,
yeah.
I can't see it. I just don't see. The only way I can see it happening. God, you have to do remold it into some niche characters.
Yeah.
But then again, they're doing that with the, what is it? It's going to be the Auto Trooper. It's going to be a Lockdown. Is that from New Age? That was on the third party panel. I'm trying to remember the name.
Yeah, I think that was where they're turning their Trailbreaker. They're turning Trailbreaker into the Auto Trooper, which I thought was a good choice. I think that works better than Ironhide.
Right, but the fact Auto Trooper is, how do I put that? Is a deep cut, I think.
It is. It's a deep cut from Animated, and
usually, usually you see a lot of exclusives tend to be like deep cuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's just proof Legends probably doesn't need to do it because they'll still get bought.
Yeah.
Because it's usually on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. In fact, Stunning Brave says, I'd rather DX9 focus on doing combiners since Zeta's doing weird things. Their Menosaur still kicks ass. Would love a Predaking or a Bonus. And the DX9, their Attila is super underrated. I actually replaced. It's Masterpiece scale, yeah.
Oh, trash. Got it. I do not believe Masterpiece combiners works well.
Attila definitely does.
You can't tell me that joint's not going to fall apart.
No, I can tell you that Attila is the most solid combiner I've ever handled.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I will off stream. I will go to the basement. I will pick that thing up and show you.
All right,
Like, that thing is absolutely solid. And just the way it all, because that one did, Hasbro almost copied what they did, where the trailer just becomes a skeleton for the cars to stick onto.
I mean, that's not new.
It's not new, but I mean, it did it right. I mean, the way X Transbots did theirs, and but now I do have one that I'm surprised doesn't make any convention exclusives, though they kind of also don't need to.
Again, that's where I stand with the Legend scale. So I just don't think you need to, because
now,
just too bad, because man, if they did some Legend scale redone as mini cons, yeah, brother.
I have a couple here that I think people would go nuts for.
All right,
I think they would work best as convention exclusives, but given this company, they would not sell them as convention exclusives. So that's Fans Toys.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
Well, I'm still covering them. Again, Fans Project beat them to the punch, but I think that they would.
Fans Project probably would do it better than them too. Overhyped.
I mean, I have my thoughts and feelings on Fans Toys. I think that they are overhyped and overpriced. But I think if they retool, or not retool, but repainted Chomp into Alligator Megatron, it would sell gangbusters.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And then one more, and I know you're not an MP scale guy, but this is one. Toys. This is one that I just really want to happen. And again, it's with Chomp.
Fuck, you're not wrong. I might buy that.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see them do Skullcruncher and Mind Wipe into.
I did have the Fans Toys Mind Wipe, and that one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Their Sovereign was trash.
Yeah, Sovereign's just, I mean, they're doing a 2.0. I think that's unnecessary, but
whatever. They're going to do a Fort Max too, right?
Yeah, they did the head, but Lord knows when we'll see the body. But their hubris, I kind of wonder if that was like a trap for like Lewin to come out. What's that?
Never going to do a Fort Max body. Never.
Well, the way that the Lewin Resources one is, the Metroplex is sold, I think their hubris is going to get the best of them. But I think that thing will be
Fort Max body. That's gonna be another Ryu.
I think $2,000.
It's not gonna do well for him.
I don't think it will either. I think that what Lewin did is kind of a trap for them.
Don't fall for it. Well, you know what? Go ahead, Fans Toys. Fucking fall for it. I don't give a shit.
I'm fine with my Titans as my city bots. You're never going, no matter what, you're never going to create city bots that are in scale. So
okay. A side story as far as scale. Did you see the picture of the 4 or 5 foot Unicron 3D printed head that was around TFCon?
I did.
Did you know what happened to that head?
No, I didn't hear the story.
So I was talking to the dude who did it, and this little kid runs up saying, Dad, take a picture with me.
Oh,
and he bumped it with his leg.
Oh, no.
Down it fell. And I helped him get it back up against the tree. But it was, my heart hurt for that dude so bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Princeton, when they announced the Beast Wars reissues, I thought they would have started with that 2-pack, because that's where it all started.
Didn't Hasbro do a Mind Wipe redo that was the Bat Prime?
They did. Yeah, they absolutely did. And they even gave him swords. And that was one of the Legends ones they did.
I remember that one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So I'd like to see them tackle these two, just because I love Beast Wars.
Here's my counterpoint for this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if Fans Toys just did these as general releases, fans will buy them.
Right, and that's a fair counterpoint. I think that they're a company that just they don't need exclusives. But I think there's also some merit to having exclusives. When you do a lower production run, it kind of also creates a little bit of a
FOMO?
Not just FOMO, but a better connection to like one of the companies.
You're not wrong.
It's like MMC. I think they have a lot of the reputation they have for what they cook up for conventions, and now Fans Hobbies doing it with Get Right Robot.
Yeah.
But Fans Toys also thinks that they're, and again, like I'm not saving them for last because I love Fans Toys. I'm a little indifferent to Fans Toys, and I think I think that the fanboys kind of dominate the conversations when it comes to Fans Toys. They're good. I own just about every single mold they've ever put out, but I do think that they're overhyped and overpriced, and
I might have the mind wipe, so I definitely got rid of Sovereign. It's like I can't. Ugh.
Yeah.
And I think it's super bold of them to put out that Prime.
Oh, I agree. I think that they're playing with fire, to be honest.
No, there you go. I want them to do that, but instead of putting it out as Prime, it's a TFCon exclusive Toxitron.
See, that would be interesting too.
I might actually get that, even though I watched the transformation video
Yeah.
for that quote unquote Fans Toys Ultra Magnus. Okay, guys. Okay. Sure. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I think other companies have done that transformation better for sure.
Yeah, I prefer the official Ultra Magnus. I think that the official MP is a smooth, fun transformation. Does it have a butt flap? Yeah. Has the articulation aged the best? No. But he's a big, beefy character that doesn't need to be posed dynamically, and I think it works for me. Also, I like the all-in-one transformation for Ultra Magnus. I think that's the way it should be. Just as like DX9's carry, I like that all-in-one transformation for Rodimus Prime.
I have that one. I have the Rodimus Unicronus version, or the Shatterglass. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's a great figure. It's an underrated figure too. I still have him on my display shelf. I have him with like my Target Masters.
There's a show. There's a Saturday show we do. Underrated figures.
I agree. I'd be down for that.
And you know what? I would actually put an Earthspark figure I just got today on that, because I was very surprised. I don't expect much out of Earthspark toys, I'll be honest with you.
No.
But that Nightshade is surprisingly solid for what he is.
And repaint that into Transmetal 2 Prowl.
Fuck, that's good. Fuck, that's really good. I was thinking I was talking with someone about redoing him as Beast Machine's Silverbolt.
You could do that, but let me.
I'm also on a Beast Machines kick, because I don't know if people know this. When I do the custom class, I never follow the script, but this year was especially mean. Yeah, I see what you did there. But this year was especially mean because one of the guys said, what if you did it like this after showing me the figure? I'm like, damn it, I think I can do that. So I 3D did Beast Machine's Obsidian's head, made and designed some claws and missile hands, and it came out. And I had, I think, like 2 or 3 people at the class ask me if I had a kit for that. Which is hard, because I didn't have that figure in hand to make sure those friggin' claws fit those hands.
Yeah, well.
Thank God for Hasbro standardization of ports and plugs.
Exactly. That's the thing, is the 5mm port has been a lifesaver for customizations.
You ain't wrong.
Well, back to exclusive wish lists. I think we covered a lot of ground. Is there anything left that you'd want to see from any of the companies mentioned? And then I guess before we close it out, do you have any like pie in the sky ones that you just want to see in general?
I mean, pie in the sky. Hey, Fans Hobbies, fix your goddamn Jetfire. No. Well, yes, but fix that Jetfire. But On that note, I do think Fans Hobbies. I like Fans Hobbies as a company. It would not surprise me if later on they come out with a figure that has the parts to fix the ankles on the Jetfire. It would not surprise me because that's all that figure really needs to be at least decent in combined mode. It's just a fix on the ankles. The only other ones I can think of is like most of them you see now are just recolors. Like this year's was just recolors because you had the cassettes. The cassette you had Naval Commander and Obsidian. And then what else you had? What's there? The Seekers.
The Seekers, yep.
But historically, a lot of them have been just recolors, like G2 Mirage, G2 Starscream. Like, if you're just talking strictly recolors, Iron Factory, do your Samurai Primal is like in optimal Optimus colors, and that would be hilarious. But you kind of already have an optimal Optimus figure, so if you just redid it as a samurai, that'd be cool too. Maybe. Or like something. But I would love Iron Factory to do Fans Toys Shatterglass Stepper. All right, Trex. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Fans Toys.
I mean, granted, I still have the it is Stepper.
My pie in the sky is basically Fans Toys, or not Fans Toys.
I have the Make Toys Stepper.
God damn it, Trex. You put Fans Toys in my brain. I hate it. But Iron Factory to do actual exclusives, because I don't think, like, some of those samurai guys, like the car ones, you could do is like, I'm going to go back to the Unicron trilogy, Clocker. Like the Sunstreaker could be a great Clocker. You just change the head, maybe and colors.
Yeah.
Do I think that would sell as a mainstream release? No, but like as a run of like 200 figures, probably. Just from FOMO. Oh fuck! I'd buy that. I'd have him sign it too. Hell yeah!
I have like one pie in the sky when I'd buy just because it'd be hilarious, and I'd want Make Toys, and I just kind of thought of this one now.
Toys is dead.
Remember when they did the not Universe, but what was that line called where they did like they retooled Jazz into Wheelie?
What?
You don't remember that?
I thought you might have been talking about the line that had like Striker Manus, Thunder Erebus, and all that, which also good figures. Underrated classic third-party figures, Striker Manus and Thunder Erebus, which was a Power Master Prime basically.
Yeah.
Fucking like a chug scale-ish.
I would love Make Toys to come back and just retool their Jazz into Wheelie, because this was the thing. Yeah.
Holy spawn
and
Satan
just market it as Wheelie's dad. That's the official Wheelie's dad.
Where was this from?
This was a line that was a Toys R Us exclusive line. I think it was called GDO. It started in China, and they had some crazy stuff like. They took the Prime First Edition Bulkhead and turned it into Brawl.
All right.
And it actually looked really cool.
That looked like it could be married to Pumpkin Azalea.
Yeah.
That's Wheelie's dad with Wheelie's mom. There we go. Holy shit. Like, fuck me, that's pretty good. I won't lie.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Brawl, but it was just it really was just like Bulkhead's body, but Brawl's head, and it was an official product. That it actually worked.
Yeah, but again, I think Iron Factory likes doing their own aesthetics anyway, and I feel like you could get some good like Cybertron alts out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Or why did I say Brawl? I meant Brawn.
I mean, I don't know. That's weird. I could see both.
Yeah.
Brawl's the tank. I knew who you meant.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cross Dimensions Galvatron. You and me both, Trex. And the Seekers that had bits of Dinobots on them, like they killed them.
There you go. I found it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it just worked. I don't know why.
Tiny head, big body.
Yeah.
You have a type. I don't know.
I just looked like a natural evolution of Braun, you know?
You ain't wrong.
That's just such a cool mold. Didn't get the love it deserved.
Megatrex wanted that cross dimensions Galvatron. I was like, man, I wanted the entire cross.
Yeah, I that would be a pie in the sky to like for Make Toys to come back out with some of those, you know, unreleased cross dimensions figures and at least just use conventions as a test market for them.
I think you could definitely do they teased their Seekers, right?
They did, yeah.
And the best part about those Seekers, they had Dinobot, you know, parts they were wearing as like trophies.
Yes, I remember.
And that would have been cool. And like that wouldn't be hard because you have a couple Seeker molds under the belt.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you right now, if they did one of their Make Toy Masterpiece Seeker molds and it had bits of a Dinobot on them, I might actually pick it up just for the lulz. Like that's just cool.
Yeah.
And they also
neat concept.
And they also had like a Zombie Ultra Magnus thing they had teased. Yeah. Oh, what could have been? There's another Saturday show. What could have been?
Well, we'll do more of these down the line. I think this is a good point to wrap things up for the evening.
One of these days, we'll get Deluxe on here too.
Yes. Yeah, I'll hit him up on Messenger and see if he'd be interested.
I'll ask him if Frank Tredaro's messaged him yet.
Yeah, he's trying to get him on for round 30.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I reminded him about that at TFCon. He has not gotten back to me yet.
Yeah, I talked to him about it on Tuesday. He says he's working on it. So
that's fair. I know he's got some busy stuff going.
All right, man. Well, thank you again for coming on. This has been a lot of fun. So, yeah, we'll be planning more of these in the coming weeks.
I have a suggestion for you, though.
What's that?
You should put a poll up for your viewers as to which toy line we should do the tier list next. Because I'll tell you right now, we were looking at the RAD one.
Yeah.
RAD looks fucking tiny when you take out repaints and reissue.
Well, I was thinking we could do the Japanese lines between Beast Wars and Armada, like Beast Wars.
Did you have any of those?
It's a fair point.
I mean, that's the thing is I didn't have a lot.
I mean, I had plenty of the molds. I had Leo Convoy. I had Galvatron. I had Starscream BB.
Yeah. My brother probably had it, and I played with it.
Yeah.
But like after that, I didn't have a lot of Machine War stuff. I didn't have a lot of that. Between I had Beast Wars, I had Beast Machines, I had some of the RAD stuff, and after that,
well, you know, we could do classics and RAD like back to back. I think
there wasn't a lot in classics either. That wasn't.
Yeah, so I think we could combine them. We could do RAD and then go right into classics.
Probably.
You know.
T-Man, what's your bedtime, T-Man?
It is getting a little late here on the East Coast, so I think we'll take that as
East Coast, least coast.
No
That's
comment.
Right.
I live in a crappy part of the East Coast, so I have no comment.
I don't know. Your place looks nice.
I mean, it is nice, but you know.
All right, guys. I've been inside Zero's home. Am I there right now? You don't know.
I don't know. Are you?
Yes. By the way, you really need to wash your sheets.
We did.
Not well enough.
No. Well,
yes, and improv.
Improv. You're going James Lipton on me?
Who?
James Lipton. That was his line. Improv.
Oh, never heard.
All right. Well, this has been fun. We will put the poll up for what you guys want to see on the next tier list. I'll have that up in the next few minutes. And with that, thanks everybody that tuned in. If you're watching us on the replay, let us know. Are there any third-party figures, convention exclusives that you want to see? Do you have your own wish list? I want to know. Drop a comment. And if you liked what we're doing here, smash that like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. If you're not already subscribed, hopefully tonight's the night I earned your subscription And if you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you ring that notification bell so you can stay in the loop when we do content like this over here on the channel. Well, that's going to do it. And I will see you all Tuesday, regular scheduled time at 9 Eastern for 0 Hour. We're going to have quite a bit to talk about on Tuesday. So hope to see you all there. Thanks to everyone that hung out in the chat tonight. I wouldn't be able to do this show without all of you fine folks. And I will see you all on the next one.
Bye. That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.